Hey guys, how you doing? Trucker G here.
Hey, Mr. G.
Was gonna do this video yesterday, and I couldn't do it. I was pretty steamed, and still pretty steamed, to be honest with you. There's companies out there that are killing people. They're actually killing people. They're harming people, and it's pretty sad when their profits are more important than the lives of public safety. More important than public safety. Yesterday we were at a shop, and I won't name the shop, and I'm not going to name the company because I don't want to get this guy in trouble. The guy I spoke with, but I'm up there and I'm conducting business, and driver comes in and he says, "Hey sir, when you're done, I know you're busy. I don't mean to interrupt, but when you're done, can you help? Can you come give me a hand?" I said, "Yeah, sure. What you got going on, man?" He says, "I just need some help with coupling." I said, yeah, I'll be as soon as I'm done here, I'll be out there. And it was about 15 minutes later by the time I got done.
He's very patient.
I drove on out there where he told me he'd be. And it was a coupling issue, kinda, but kinda not. The issue was the guy's never been trained. Went out there. What it was when he backed into his fifth wheel, it was a little on the high side, and it sat up on the locking jaws, and it wasn't latching. He could not figure out why. I said, "I'll tell you what, pull forward a little bit, come get back out from underneath the trailer, and I want to show you what you need to look for before you back into these trailers." He goes, "Yeah, they never showed me this." I said, "Did your trainer not show you?" He goes, "I didn't have a trainer." Right there's the problem. Everybody wants to blame these schools. Well, what are they teaching them in the schools? What do they teach them in the schools? Yeah, I agree that the school should have showed them coupling and uncoupling. But to be honest with you, those schools are there just to get them their CDL.
Mm-hmm.
These schools are designed to be a 3 to 5 week course of nothing but what it takes to get the CDL. Because what it takes to get the CDL and what you're actually going to do out here on the road are two different things. What us as the general public rely on is when these people get their CDL, that they go with a company that actually trains them the right way. And that's not happening, guys. That is not happening. You see these wrecks and you see all these deaths, these pile-ups. Let's just go to the young man that was in Colorado that killed a bunch of people because he didn't know that he was supposed to take a truck ramp. How do you not know that you're supposed to take a truck ramp? Well, you're not born with that knowledge. You're supposed to be taught that stuff. And this stuff isn't getting taught. Simple coupling and uncoupling is a safety hazard, and it's not being taught. If he would have went and jacked his landing gear up and left with that trailer, he probably could have got down the road a little ways before that trailer fell off. And it could have killed somebody. All because he wasn't taught. They're leaving these schools, they're going with these companies, and they're putting them with trainers that don't know anything. In this case, it's a little different, and this is what burned me up. This young man went through school, got a CDL, and went to a company, went to orientation. After 1 week of orientation, and orientation is just going over logbooks and going over paperwork and how to run the ELDs, has nothing to do with driving. But after orientation, they stuck this young man in a truck to run loads without teaching him absolutely nothing. And he's out here driving on the road with your children. And I'm not saying he's a bad driver.
No.
And I'm not saying he's a dangerous driver. But he kind of is, without having the knowledge or the education on how to safely operate that vehicle. And that's what burns me up. He didn't make me mad. Matter of fact, I told him where he could find me, and if he has any other questions during his course of his career, please reach out, because apparently they're not doing it for him.
But the thing is, he was smart enough to know that there was something not right about the situation he was
smart
in.
enough to come ask for help.
And he came straight up to us. Well, G was inside. He came straight up to me and asked me for our help. And I told him that G was inside, and as soon as he was done, he would definitely help him. He just needed to go.
But how many of these other young men and women have so much of a chip on their shoulder or too much pride and won't ask for help?
And sometimes
that's where the scariness lies.
And sometimes it's not even that case. It's they're afraid to ask
for help.
Well,
because
that
they don't
kinda-
want to be looked down on.
That's
because
where the
they
pride.
don't know.
That's exactly what I just said.
That's-
It's pride.
Okay, sorry.
You're afraid somebody's gonna look down upon you. That's pride. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. If I need to know the answer to a question, I'm not gonna be afraid to ask. I don't care if you look down on me because of a question I ask. Do I have the problem or do you have the problem? Well, you got the problem. Well, I kind of have the problem because now I got to find somebody else to ask the same question to, and not care what nobody thinks of me.
I'm just glad he asked for help.
Advice to newcomers into the industry: ask questions. I don't care if you
Yes.
think it's a dumb question. I don't care if you think a driver's going to look down upon you or not. If it's going to save the lives of others, ask the question.
questions.
You know where to find me here. Shoot me a message.
Start straight.
Ask the question, please. Because my children are out there driving down the road with you. My grandchildren are out there in those vehicles driving down the road next to you. Your children are out there on the road driving next to these people that haven't got the proper training, because the companies are more worried about their profits than they are the lives of our families. And there's the problem. I want to call this company out so bad, but I don't want to get that guy in trouble.
No.
And that company will be called out in the near future, because, like I said, this gentleman wasn't even sent out with a trainer, not even sent out with an uneducated trainer. And that's where the other problem lies. Some of these guys are going to these companies and they're set with trainers, but the trainers are students too. They don't know what they're
They're new,
doing.
yes.
They got 3 to 6 months worth of experience and don't know nothing themselves. And I'm not blaming them. They're enticed with more money, and we're all going to do what we can to bring more of a paycheck home. They should be sent with experienced trainers, experienced truck drivers. That way, when they do go out on the road with our families, they're safe. And that's not happening.
No, it's not.
Guys, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I think I've said plenty right now, and there'll be more videos like that to come, because it burns me up. It burns me up. The government wants to implement ELDs. They want to implement all these other different laws, and they know nothing about trucking, because they're getting advice from the ATA, which are lobbyists for these mega carriers that are the problem. All right, that's a whole nother video. Love you guys.
Slow your roll. Love you guys. Bye.